So today I'm thrifting. The first place that I'm going to stop by is the Antique Mall in LaGrange Park. I always try to stop here when I can because I really like the way that everything is laid out and how you can really get lost in here digging through everything. They change things relatively often. You know, the prices are higher in here because it's an antique store, not a thrift. They operate on a booth basis, so each booth is curated by a different person, so the vibe of what's in the booth as well as prices can vary pretty significantly. In one of these booths, I found this tub of keys that was marked 25 cents each, and it was just a bunch of vintage keys, some of them much cooler than others, as you'll see as I'm sorting through these. But my first thought when I saw them was that they would make some really cool steampunk accessories. Me and my family dress up in steampunk outfits for various Ren fairs, festivals, things like that. And I thought that these would be cool earrings, zipper pulls, boot accessories, etc., etc. So that might be a separate video on here eventually. I know it'll be pretty different from the home decor things I have been doing. But that might be something cool to make steampunk accessories out of these. And I will speed this up in a few seconds so you don't have to watch the full 10 minutes of me sorting through these keys. I always try to thrift where I can. I'll be going to Goodwill after this, and that is kind of one of the first places I stop whenever I realize I need something. Goodwill typically will have light bulbs, they'll have paint that people have donated, craft supplies, gift bags. Makes me feel a little bit less wasteful. Being a crafter and doing a lot of artsy things as a hobby, you can kind of sometimes feel like you're contributing to waste. You have extra supplies left over, you're using paper, you're cutting scraps off, and this is one of the ways that I live a more sustainable life. And, it's by no means perfect. I'm under no delusions about Goodwill as a company or other big box thrift stores. I like to support local, where I can, like this antique mall in LaGrange Park, but it's not always possible. And in my opinion, buying secondhand, even from places like Goodwill, is a better good for the world and society than buying from places like Amazon or Shein or whatever. It's kind of the same with shopping local, shop small. If I need something, I'll go to an Ace Hardware if I can, rather than a Menards, for example. And I think shopping at thrifts and antique places, specifically for home decor, you can find a lot of things with character, things that have a story to tell, and a lot of local charm. I find a lot of things that are specific to Chicago, whether that be newspaper clippings or posters of specific teams or historical moments, anything like that would not be at a place like Target or any mainstream retailer that you can find in these types of thrift stores in your communities. So I really recommend getting out there and seeing what is in the stores. Yeah. Next up, I went to Goodwill. I went to 2 locations today, and if I could just take a second to complain, where by my house does the pictures like this, and the store that I prefer but is farther away does the pictures like this. I don't see in what world the former could be preferred over the latter. I didn't really record in the Goodwills. I have a hard time recording when there's people around. I don't want to invade their privacy or, frankly, come across as a weirdo filming people. But I do have recordings of the stuff I got. So I got both this lamp and the lampshade at Goodwill. I think it's a really pretty color and a pretty texture in the lampshade. I'm trying to add more bits of blue to this room in general. I'm going for a sunrise color scheme, so pinks, oranges, and blues. And then I also found this cool carving that is going to join the rest of my tile collection. All of these were also thrifted. Thanks for watching.